Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Total Entertainment Podcast Halloween special. I'm well aware I'm wearing the same jumper as I wore on the last episode as well, but let's not judge me on that. I'm well aware. I'm tired more than I had. Joining me today of one of my best friends, David Gilna, playwright, actor, and top tier chance I like myself. Gilna, what is the story, man?
It's great to be on the podcast, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been dying to get you on now for a while. How's things been?
Yeah, look, as you know, I had my last two shows of the year.
Tell us about the people don't know.
Yeah, so basically, at the start of the year, I wanted to write a new show. I would tell stories, I write plays. As you know, I talk a lot of bollocks. But
I know.
And if you follow me online, I'm the same person you me. But yeah, my background is in the arts, and I wrote this show called Did I Ever Tell You? It's about.
By the way, if anyone's drinking watching this, every time he says Did I Ever Tell You, you take a drink.
So the show's called Did I Ever Tell You? And it's about why we tell stories, why I tell stories, why I believe stories are the only thing that lasts, the only thing that matter. And it stemmed at that. It opened up in the Viking Theatre in February.
I was there. I seen the first show.
The first show.
And so I didn't notice, right? So I didn't notice.
Awful.
When I bought tickets and you sent a ticket link to the group, so I was like, Graham, we'll go to the first show, because I think to myself, well, that's obviously the best one, right? Because you think so in a band, right? If you see a band on an opening tour, I would think to myself going, well, everyone's ready, raring to go. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be, the energy's going to be there. Whereas you see them 10 gigs in, you might go...
I'm actually getting panic attacks.
Yeah. Whereas if you do it 10, if you see a band 10 gigs in, 15 gigs in, they might go, right, well, this is rehearsed the fuck, and it's... But it's the opposite.
The last show I did it 87 times, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first time I was doing to a live audience. So I don't know if some of these things are going to work.
I
don't know if no one's going to laugh.
Didn't register.
Or are they going to say, oh, here we go again, he's reading another poxy poem. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then you were in the front audience, and I was just like, so you go out raw. I didn't test it before. I didn't do previews. I just jumped right in. And I remember sitting with Charles, my producer, and he was working the desk. I was like, the day before, I was kind of sitting going, he's like, I think we should call it a day and just, we'll come back tomorrow. And we'll give it a laugh.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did the show in the Viking. You were there. But I was glad. It worked. People laughed. Yeah. People cried. With me, I want people to sit in silence, laugh, and then hopefully we get a connection. Yeah. Because it's about me bleeding my truth on stage. And with that, I have humour. I've got pain, and I've got silence. And that's what I want. So we started there. Then we transferred to the Civic in the People's Republic of Tala. And then I had the last big show in the Lark Concert Hall, and then I had the Royal Court in Liverpool. So that was the kind of my and I want people out there, because you'll get a kick out of this. Last year I had my show in the Lark Concert Hall. I sold it out just like that, and I thought, amazing, here I am, I've made it. And then this year, because you'll get it with any artist out there listening, will get with ticket sales, and the impact that has on you was it was a tough time to reach the peak that I got with this. So I was under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But the show itself, shout out to Derek, sound and visuals, Liam on lights, Frank Allen, my director, the Codgers, Noel O'Grady, Glenn Gannon, Ken Toohey, my stage manager, Nino, all the gang that came around me for the show, and we had an amazing night. And adding to the Lark Concert Hall, having the visuals, having the music, being in that space.
It's a stunning theatre, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's stunning, the Lark.
So, you saw it in the Viking, which is a Viking Theatre. They have built a community. They've got a great audience. They support artists. They give you a chance if you're independent. And then to finish it off on the grand stage like the Lark, to a full house, and having you there. And I finish on, of course,
the best song of all time, The Getaway.
The Getaway, one of the greatest music videos of all time.
So Gilna stars in my video for Getaway, which is my highest stream song, just over 30,000 streams on Spotify.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think that's a coincidence.
I was just going to say the coincidence is that he's in the fucking video, isn't he? So yeah. But funny story behind that video as well, by the way.
Yeah,
let's chat that fucking video, right? Because that was a fiasco, right? Shout out to Mick Bean, who directed the video, by the way. So we go down to Ratangan, right? And we're having all these Zoom calls before it, and we're storyboarding and everything and things like that. And I'm like, what? This is a fucking music video. What do we need? Like, I've never done that into that kind of high until I release the album, whatever. So Getaway is the second single we release. I said, Gilna, my good friend, is an actor. I want him to be in the video. So we bring another girl in, Inga, and we're having this calls and we're running through, and all's good in the day. Anyway, we were told we were going to have a certain car.
Oh, I know. It's James Bond's car we're going to have.
It was some car, was it? It was a Rolls Royce, was it?
No, it was an Aston Martin.
It was an Aston Martin. Yeah. It was. You're right. It was some sort of Aston Martin vintage car, right?
James
we were
Bond
thinking,
moment.
this will be the dog's body. This will be unbelievable. Let's get the car in, right? We roll up on the day and the director turns around in this car. What was it? A Toyota?
It was a classic, but the car that he wanted was broken. But there's another part to that story. So because I spent a lot of time in America, my Irish license is an automatic license.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. He doesn't know how to drive manual, right?
No.
So the car, that's it, right?
Shout out to Paddy Cullen in Swords. He taught me how to drive. But I was going to America, so didn't tell the lads. I did it in an automatic license. I passed first time round. Thank you very much.
Hell.
But anyway, I said to my partner Louise, I was just like, she's like, have you told him? And I was like, told him what? You drive an automatic? And I was like, yeah. She goes, you can't just turn up and do a fucking David Gilna on it. Everything's going to be okay. And I was like, happy grand. So we went up to Airside at night time.
You told me this in the McDonald's
car back to drive, because it started out with a manual. So we're driving
the night before.
No, we were rehearsing, get this right, yeah. With Louise.
Okay,
yeah. No,
but Louise's car probably has power steering and it's probably fucking, you know what I mean?
Lovely Audi, and we were doing it like a child up in Airside at night time. The day comes for the music video, meet the cast, meet the crew. We're doing our first scene, and it's up a hill to the church, and the camera crew and our second unit in a different car behind us, and the sweat starts. Makeup artists have seen the sweat coming down me and get into first gear, and I thought, look lads, I don't really, and they were sound. It worked out. Then I was driving the back roads, I was getting comfortable in it, but yeah. Actors do that all the time on their CV. That sometimes that.
Of course, yeah.
But it was, and then the second thing with that was we have a WhatsApp group, and I was going out for my girlfriend's birthday dinner, right?
Oh my god! This is hilarious.
And
well, give a bit of context to it first.
Yeah, so basically, the lads were joking about Inga, as in amazing actress, Ian's video, that I wasn't at into the video. Just lads banter. I had nothing to it. Boom, boom, boom. So as a joke, they were like, Inga is a better actor, or whatever it was in the WhatsApp group. Or was it Inga's?
So yeah, because at my last show you were at, I made a joke on the stage and I said, Leslie Emma, the song we're going to feature, this next song we're going to play features one of the best actors I know. And her name is Inga. Yeah. Messing, you know what I mean?
That's what the lads changed it that night to Inga, right?
Yeah,
and,
something
simple as that. I just changed it as a joke to Inga because I wasn't. I missed the start of the show at work, and we're going through into town, and my phone starts binging, and it's Inga, but it's the WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Right? And there's what 7, 8 of us in this WhatsApp group.
Bing, about football or Liverpool or something like that. Ding, 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 and then. Oh, is the music video out yet? And I was like, no, actually, it's post-production, looking forward, this is the day. Oh, you've talked to anyone involved in the show? No, just, you do a job, you forget about it. Inga, bing, 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 bing. And she goes, so you haven't spoken to anybody in the music video?
Louise says this, your girlfriend.
I said, no. Right, and I could just feel the tension, and I was going,
and you're going, what the hell's going on?
And then we're going out for dinner for her birthday, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then we got off the bus, and she's like, Inga? And I was just like, oh, that's the WhatsApp group name.
Yeah, she thought Inga was texting you. Yeah.
Non-stop for a birthday dinner. Yeah. But that music video to me is learning how to drive again.
Yeah.
The Inga WhatsApp group, and she's a fantastic actress. She's based in London, and also it's an amazing song, and it's great that. And I finished my show in the Lark with that.
Getaway,
and that's what you do, artists. You find each other, creative collaborations, and for me it was cool. I know the audience started to leave, and you're like, hey, you're missing the best part.
Yeah. I stood up and goes, fuck it, what's everyone doing? It's the best part of the show. It's fucked down,
And that's, to me, is like when you write a play, or you write a poem, or you write a song, it outlives all of us. So the fact that, I'll be in that music video with me and you, that's pretty cool. That's like a moment that you go, yeah, I was proud of that.
Yeah, so I think art now, I was only chatting with this with Kira the other day, and so I'm 85% of my second album is I've one song left to do, right?
How long did that thinking about the song and then to get the 85% ready, if you don't mind me asking, just for the process?
One song?
No, just that whole, you said you're 85% complete.
Of the album?
Yeah. How long is the process?
Jesus Christ, how long is a piece of string? Is it ever done?
No, you always want to be better.
Like every song can be improved.
And if you hear it back, you're going, oh, yeah.
but improving it doesn't actually. Maybe I'm saying this wrong. Every song can have more, but it might not be better, right? So there comes a time when you feel the song, when you're writing it and you're structuring it and you're coming up with melodies on the piano and you're hearing like a string line, or you're hearing maybe the bass go this way, maybe a nice drum kind of whatever, this kind of feel to it, like a tom or a hi-hat type thing. I don't know, a guitar lick or whatever. Like we take Getaway for example, right?
Yeah.
I thought Getaway was done. And I thought to myself, going, right, I have this lovely piano riff that shout out to Dell, he came up with, the keyboard player. I have this lovely guitar line. It's doing something so simple. I have a lovely acoustic. And I had a little tiny string line that I heard in my head, you know?
All right.
But then Ray, the producer, sent it off to a guy named Ken Rice, right? Now, Ken did all the strings in Made in Dublin.
Oh, my God.
Right?
I'm a huge jazz fan.
So Ken and the strings in Made in Dublin are phenomenal, right? So Ken heard my song and we went into a room with Ken and a couple of string players and a couple of everything, and I heard it then with the strings. I heard my song playing through the speakers and 12 people sitting there with strings and cellos and orchestras and whatever fucking instruments that they have. Expensive instruments, as I call them, right? And
protected alcohol.
Yeah. I'm not allowed in that room. But it was a room like this, right? You're sitting in a room like this, and in the next room over, there was these string players, you know? And my song was playing through the speakers, and Ken scored everything out for them.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then you hear.
No, it's powerful.
And then you go, like, I serious emotional I got, like.
It's like, I'm thinking of This Time by Aslan when you said that, you know.
But you see all those lovely.
Yeah, those little moments.
Lovely,
you're sitting there and you're having this moment going, this is my song, and this is like.
Absolutely, right? So you're going, oh my God.
What's next? You need David Gilna in your music video.
Yeah. Let's undo all the good we just did and bring in Gil. But you're kind of sitting there and then I knew when the emotion hit, and I have that feeling in my head of going, oh my God, this sounds incredible. Now I know it's done.
Okay, yeah, that's a great feeling.
I could have added a guitar solo. I could have added, but it would add nothing to the song.
Yeah,
nothing. So I kind of think when you hit a certain point where you go, there's probably nothing more I can add to this to actually benefit the song.
Yeah.
Kind of know it's done then. Yeah. But it's a feeling, you know. You might feel something different. If you wrote a song, you might go, no, this needs French horn. It needs fucking whatever.
You can see the changes that are made from the world premiere in February to the Lark in Liverpool at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
And you're constantly editing and changing and improving until you go, yeah, I've got something. And you can feel it's cooking. And when you're there with a live audience or someone's listening for the first time and you're looking at them and they're looking, you know, it's a feeling that you can't describe, but you go with your gut.
Yeah. It was definitely a different type. But I suppose it's a bigger audience and a bigger room. It probably has to be a little bit different, does it?
But when you go bigger, I think it goes better. I think the harder gigs are
the intimate gigs. I say this all the time.
When you're doing a show in a pub theatre, they're literally on the stage.
Yeah.
Prime example, you see the videos I have online. 2 women, great crack, absolutely pie-eyed.
I remember that clip, yeah.
I would say absolutely locked. And she gets up, she goes, I'm going to the toilet. I was like, in the middle of this race, like, no bother, love. And she's like, I found them. I said, thank you very much. And it's just like internal dialogue. And one of them, she was going to nearly jump up on stage. But it's how you interact with that. But they're there, they're breathing on you.
But anything can happen.
Yeah, because you can feel it. You can feel some people don't enjoy the show, or they're with you, or they're getting lost in things. And then when you transfer a show like that to the Lark or to the Olympia or to the Royal Court, you've got this elevation and you have to bring it to that level.
Yeah.
You bring it to, I always say, whether I'm performing to 2 people or 2,000 people, I give the same show. That's my focus.
You know what? You know what I think the main purpose of, well, for me anyway, right? I think it might be different for everyone else, but for me, I think the biggest thing in a show is not how good the band is not how good the performer is. It's whether that performer can connect with me.
It's connection.
If I can establish me and you, bang, there's a connection where you just go, whoa, this is.
Give you a great one. So this morning, me routine, going for coffee walk, and I'm through Swords Castle, going down by the river. And I'm outside the schoolhouse, and when one of my mates went to school with Harmo, he's like, Gilna, pulls up in the truck. He was doing delivery. Saw the show in the Lark. And I said to myself, you better not be shite. And he said, me and the missus loved it. And he just chatted to me. And I was just like, that's what you as an artist, you're looking for a sign.
Yeah.
This fella said to me, he would have told me out the truth. We went to school together. He bought a ticket to the show. And he's like, I told everyone to go see the next one. And I was like, I've done my job. If I could connect it with one person and he was happy that he had a night out with his partner, I'm like, job done. That's to me fantastic.
Even like the odd few, I don't do many of the pub gigs anymore. I'm kind of looking to get out of that now and just kind of do the full-time original stuff because I've other things going on, businesses going on that I'm in anyway.
Changing direction, brother.
Yeah, totally, yeah. But I did one last night in the Brooklyn Swords, 5 to 7, right? And there was a guy there, an elder guy, right? And he said, I was in here since 3 o'clock and we had a few drinks and we had a bit of dinner and we got dinner around 4:30 and we heard you play the first 3 songs and now we're leaving at 7:30.
And you went, bang.
And I went,
that was the reason why you played. And people don't get it. I'll always look for signs. I'm very spiritual. I went, bang. You went, I'm doing this gig on a Thursday. I love the venue, loves me people. But like, it's 5 o'clock. Like, and then that man comes to you and he says, you performed.
Yeah.
And that, you can't even put that, you're like, yes, okay.
Yeah, that's
what it's about. It's those moments, those interactions that you go, yeah.
As a performer, that's what it is. Like, you know, it's those little, just the small details, you know what I mean? The small things, like, you know. And it was a girl who was sat at the bar by herself last night, and she says to me, she said, I used to come down and see you on the Cock Tavern every Thursday. She said, now I do shift work, so sometimes I go by myself, sometimes I go with a friend of mine. And she said, I seen you were in here now, and I come down to see you. Like, she goes, it was still absolutely brilliant, even though it was earlier in the day, like, you know. I was like, that's great.
And how long have you been dating?
Buy a ticket for the show. Buy a ticket for the show in February. Yeah. But it's just kind of, those little things we're performing is why we do it, isn't it?
You've got to be true.
You're not doing it for the fucking money, I can tell you that now. Let's be honest.
No.
Who was I saying this to the other day?
No, don't get me.
Who was on the other day? Before Kira. Oh, James, who was on before Kira? I can't remember. Whoever it was, anyway. And I was saying to them...
was it Ronan?
No, it was one after Ronan. Oh, it was John Sadlier. It was John. And I was saying to John, even if the Academy sells out, I make more money off doing the Cock Tavern than I would off doing the Academy.
Look, it's... I think it's insane.
So why do we do it?
Because we're insane.
I literally said this. We're mental.
100%.
We're mental. And we chat on this all the time.
You have to be. Mental, look, but there's finding a partner or finding that balance in your life that
takes away.
Yeah, because they have to bring you back to the real world. I've never thought about the future because I'm Peter Pan. No.
Yeah. I have no sense of financial security.
I'm like
in 20 years' time. I mean, like.
Yeah, you know this story, like this is like way up there story back in my London days, but like back in the day on a deal I did, I got paid, I'll tell you the amount minus fees now, I got paid 100,000
Yeah, you said,
for a studio thing. Film never got made, but I made a lot of bank. And
drank it all.
Yeah.
I drank every fucking pound. Yeah.
But you know what? No regrets. No, but it was, I hit this peak and I thought this is going to be it. This is going to be it. Every time it's like a songwriter has a particular hit with a song, or your show takes off or a book takes off and you sign the next deal and then no one buys the next book. But I hit that peak of money and the madness and the excess and everything that came with it. And then in this game, it can just be taken away from you. And I'm glad that I spent, well, I had fun with it. I had no regrets. You know, I was running bars in London. I was working hard. I was hustling. And then these breaks happened and then I spent it all. But that's what you do as an artist. And I think some artists struggle with, I always love business and I love the hustle. I love, but also it's an impact on behind the scenes. When you're an independent artist, so I'm not talking about you're going to be booked in all the big 3 arena gigs.
No, of course.
So there's levels to the game. And I've really...
But do you think that, so now, right, I always talk about this imaginary line.
Yeah.
Right? That I feel like people like I think Kara is sitting there. I think like a few of us are there, right? Where it's like I believe in my songs, right? I'm not egotistical, you know me in the slightest, right? I'm not.
Yes, he is.
But no, but I do feel like they're good enough to for people to fucking like them. You know what I mean?
That's this. As an artist, you put yourself out there, or any artist listening here who is struggling. You have to take the jump. You have to put yourself out there. You have to put your work out there. Some plays will hit, some songs will hit, some scripts will hit, right? But what I say is take the risk, take the gamble. And then what happens is me closing out this year on a high. I know this new show works, and I know I've got a show that I can tour for the next couple of years. But I need to take a step back. And when you take a step back, so literally, my best friends flew over to Liverpool last week. And I had this recurring nightmare that was just going to be the four of them in the audience, right? And then we had a full house. And they were there, and they were watching people.
Six of them in the audience.
Yeah. But I had this dream that it was just going to be them. And they witnessed being in the audience with me. And there was a few gags that they laughed at that the audience didn't laugh. And then they laughed at them now. And they were. So it was this lovely pocket of motion. I'm going, that to me was everything. And I'm going, okay, as an artist now, I need to. Obviously, I'm going to crash because I've had the highs of highs. And then I'm going to crash. I sound like such a wellness wanker, but I went up and I watched the sunrise this morning in Portmarnock. But
you're right, you do sound like a wellness wanker.
Totally. But I'm owning it. But I'm owning that. But you hit the high, you hit the low, and then what you do is I can't physically create or write at this moment because I'm just finishing the end of a new chapter, and I'm going, okay, we'll get the show back out there. But I'm on no rush right now, because I know the show is good. And once you know the show is good, as you said, because I've connected with people. Yeah. You get real... people say, I didn't like that chapter. I didn't like what you talked about that. But it's that connection that you get from people. Like, we live in a world where we're on the phone. We WhatsApp. I don't like FaceTime calls.
Something weird about it.
I just don't like... A mate of mine in LA keeps on ringing me up. And I was like, dude, I'm in bed. I don't want to... Not my thing. Each to their own. But human to contact. Speaking to each other.
I'd rather pick up the phone and call someone and have a conversation in 3-4 minutes. Or, if it's something with work.
Yeah.
Fucking see this WhatsApp, email, tennis.
Oh, right there. This is anyone who does a 10-minute voice note, you should be shot.
Yeah.
End the conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
End the conversation. Voice notes are fine. 10 minutes, please. Please, just stop.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Audio book at that stage. You want to be... Amazon will be charging you.
And then I found out some people speed them up as well.
Oh, that's me. That's me. That's my levels of whatever spectrum I'm on don't let me listen to a normal voice message. I have to speed it up, But you're talking about watching the sunrise. The only time I can say I've watched many sunrises is when I'm leaving lock-ins in town in my younger days. The only times I've got to these sunrise things.
I'm a party lad, as you know. I love to drink. I love the social aspect of it. But
you?
No, me. Have a drink. In our WhatsApp group, we get, he's on the Jameson.
Yeah, come here. Gilna has 2 points, right? 2 point Gilna, we call him, right?
And then on the whiskey.
And then he's on the whiskies. And then Lord knows what's going to happen there.
No, but yeah, exactly. Or what I'll say, swinging my rosary beads from a stool. True story. But no, what I want to say is that I wanted balance. So I'd never thought I'd find the gym again. Love going to the gym. I will not be one of those people who go have a swim in the sea.
You see these people
each
that do
their own.
Totally right. James does it, I think, do you? Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
See the people that go Christmas Day in the middle of January and all.
I don't mind.
You know who told me to do it?
Who?
Damien Dempsey said it to me. He said to me, he says, I'm telling you now, he says, it'll change your life. I said, Damo, you're nuts.
I jumped into the sea in Skerries with Louise for the first time during the summer when it was hot, and I have to say I'd never done it before. That was, it was pretty cool. But like, doing it this morning.
In the summer, that's just a normal thing to do.
Doing in the summer.
Do it in December. We'll see what happens.
It's about the balance, I think.
See how little Gilna gets on. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. You fucking freezing, There's no way.
No, but like, to me this morning, right, if you think about, you're on a high of finishing all these shows, finishing off on high, and then you're in reflection mode, and then what you do is I just sat there watching the sun come up, thinking about the circle of life, the everyday life, watching people around. I stood up on a rock and I was just going, isn't it great to be alive? Because at the moment I can't create at the moment between shows. I write every day, but after the end of a show or a journey like that, I just have to take a step back. My brain is constantly thinking of ideas, but at the moment I'm not physically... I'm writing down ideas and plans, let's say, for 26 to 28, but I'm not thinking of concept for a show. I've got a show that works. I'm just trying to... I take these breaks. So me finding the gym 3 days a week, I'll do maybe one sunrise a week. I maybe 2 at a max, but 1 for me is fine.
I used to do 3.
3 lock-ins.
Yeah, we used to do it when I was younger. Yeah, we used to.
There's no early houses anymore. Back in the day,
come here. I used to do the Mez Bar. lock in?
The Mez.
You remember the Mez? James is in the control room going, fucking remember the Mez.
The only, actually, would you believe?
The Mercantile as well, we used to.
The Mez is the only, shout out to Slim, because my mate Slim, he now works out in Duffy's in Malahide. The Mez is the only bar I've ever been barred from.
Sorry, is Slim out in Duffy's?
Yeah, Malahide, yeah.
Ah, right. I know Slim from playing in the Mez.
So, yeah.
And he was at the Betsy for a while, wasn't he?
Betsy, it used to be the Empire, yeah. But, yeah, Slim... is
he a swordsman?
I don't know. We met each other at a friend of mine, Melanie Grace, who's Brendan Grace's daughter, is really good friends with Slim.
Oh, okay.
So me and Mel worked together back in the day in Ballymun the Axis, and Slim is a gent. But
lovely guy.
Yeah, Slim is. Oh my God, this podcast is going to go me and you 1,000 different circles.
Yeah.
From Slim to podcast. Where was I? Duffy's. Mez is the only place I've been barred from. That's how my brain works.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We should have brought like someone here to kind of like direct the weirdest conversations are going to go. You know? Someone to just bring us back.
The Mez is the only bar that I've ever been barred from, but that's a different story for different
And you
day.
were saying then you have plans for 2026 to 2028, right? You mentioned to me that you look like you're going to screenwrite something, that you were going to sit down and write some sort of
so like
movie or something.
Yeah, at 2 years. So basically, so 2 years ago, I signed a big deal with Orla Doherty on a pilot called Aoife Allen. It's a comedy pilot about a 50-year-old woman coming back from New York after being an agent to come back to a local funeral, and then she gets involved in the local darts league, and you had all these of her clients flying back to North County Dublin, like The Rock or
The Rock?
Yeah, this
in
idea.
North County Dublin?
I had this mad idea that, could you imagine that she used to be a sports agent or a huge agent, and she comes back to live in North County Dublin, and all of a sudden she's coaching the GAD team in Navan, Ogan, Portmarnock, and The Rock comes onto the pitch.
She brings The Rock for a point in Ballymun United.
Yeah, and then she plays darts. So anyway, we wrote the show, and it got huge feedback. A lot of production companies were interested. We signed a deal actually on in London for the pilot, but it's still at the stage we signed the deal, agents, contracts. The pilot is still live, as in people are really interested, but it hasn't been green lit. So
what's holding up?
It just takes time. It really does take time. That's all it is. So you have all these production companies who are really interested in it. We have an agent who is selling it for us, but
I'd love to know how long something like Friends take to get over the line, or something like something major like
Friends was an incredible, well written series written with friends with a great strong cast, and Orla and I met each other on the comedy scene. Orla, I love her madness. She has a radio show on Near FM.
Orla, who opened the show, and
yes, in the Lark.
Girl, Orla.
So Orla and I wrote this pilot together. Aoife Allen. It was part of it was about her life too. Orla left Dublin in the 80s because about being gay and not coming out to her parents. Her parents were very supportive, but she moved over to America, and then she came back, and she's now living here with her partner Annabelle, or her wife, should I say.
Lovely girl as well.
Yeah, lovely
girl,
people.
Yeah.
So we have that, and then I don't like watch horrors, as you know, right? It's not my...
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, you and Robbie will kill me. I'm not into horrors, right?
I like horror movies. My problem with them is they're mostly shit.
Okay.
I feel like it's like comedy, right? It's the one genre of movie where you'll watch it and you go, this is really good, or it's really bad.
So my friend Patrick, he's produced over 100 films. He's based in London. He said to me, being German, very direct, he's like, write a horror. Write your pilot script. You know what I mean? And
this is the one you were telling me about that you were going to do in Swords.
So I started writing it. I'm saying 40 pages in, and then the play took over. So Patrick all said to me is, write this script, send it to me, and I will tell you if it's good, if it can be made, or I can pitch it. Yeah. So that's the next project for me, is to write this horror.
Will this be the main focus?
No, I think as an artist there's so many things going on. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm meeting to all my old peers who I used to work with, and just looking at, I think closing that chapter of Torn for 20 years, I'm looking what's the next chapter for me. So I'm having these really great conversations with mentors, people who I respect, because to communicate. Say, these are my skill sets, where am I going to do that? I love storytelling, I love people, I love producing, I love whether it's my show or someone else's show. I love watching the audience. So, and I'm a board member of the Writers Guild of Ireland. I'm all for writers' rights. I'm all for fighting for the right for any actor or writer. And these are the things that go in my head. So you have to have the drive to pitch, the passion to write it, and nobody's going to sell it except you. So I've wrote for TV shows in the past before. I wrote for Fair City back in the days where I began. And my agent in London, she used to represent the Peep Show. So I've been around amazing writers and people who created shows. So my goal would be to have a show out there on a streaming platform, but I don't know how long that's going to take. So you have agents, you have people who believe in your work, but
you've been involved in film before.
Oh yeah, like I know you've got John Connors in the studio.
Yeah,
I was an executive producer on a feature film called The Letters, directed by Robbie Walsh.
Yeah,
it was starring Mary Murray.
You can watch it now on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Apple. It's on Tubi. It's on every streaming platform except Netflix. We've won awards around the world, and we got.
What is it about Netflix? Is it harder to get on?
Do you know what? With Netflix, we just couldn't get into Netflix, but we got it on to everything else, and it was. We're really proud because an independent film, and like that, you see the numbers of the box office, and it was great when you could outdo other films in the box office because you're getting the reports of who went to see what, and you're up against people with unbelievable capital and marketing spend. So it's really hard to support independent films, but the likes of Graham in Movies Act really supported us, gave us a platform, and Odeon and lovely independent cinemas. So yeah, I've been involved as a from an executive producer on a feature film. I began in Dawn of the Dead in Toronto in Canada in 2003. I was an assistant set designer for Zack Snyder and Steve Suchuk, and it was the original the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I lived in Toronto for 6 months.
It's regarded as one of the best zombies, isn't it?
So I've got the original script, I've got props, I've got pictures of the cast. Steve Suchuk would build these amazing sets. I remember one time he closed down the city when a helicopter crashed.
That's power, isn't it?
Yeah, it closed the whole.
Fucking close down a city. There's a budget.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do, and I'll never forget it. Steve goes, do you want to? This is true. God, looking back, what I was thinking. I was offered a job to work on his next film, and I think he was doing it with Bruce Willis. Everybody knew I wanted to be an actor. They dressed me up as a zombie. I was actually a zombie in Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. Like, so I got all these amazing memories, and then he said, Dave, do you want to work with me as my assistant for the next film? I think he was doing Bruce Willis. And I said, no, I'm going to go back to Clonshadoolig in Coolock and study theatre studies.
What's wrong with you?
Do you know what? Looking back, I've got no regrets.
Do you? Yeah,
because in this industry, a gig's a gig. And I could have been kept on gigging there, then I would have to get my, another visa, whatever the case be. I'll give you another great story. As I was working, my set design teacher in Coolock, Marie Tierney, she's done some of my sets. She's amazing, gifted set designer in theatre. She got me a gig in Ballymun after I left Clonshadoolig studying theatre studies. I was assistant stage manager for From These Green Heights with Dermot Bulger. And then I got offered to do assistant stage manager in Aikino in the Olympia for Peter Sheridan. And I said, no, I want to focus on acting. And then what happened was, didn't I get the assistant stage manager to be in the cast because I needed an extra. So,
no way.
Yeah. So like, you got to think a gig's a gig, and you keep on going and creating. But like, looking back at those moments, they still give you so much. Like, so being on a big film studio set, a Hollywood film studio, and seeing Zack Snyder before he was like Zack Snyder, it was like, this thing is massive. There's so many sets, there's so many people to make all this happen. And I was just concentrating on the set design element for Steve creating. So my world was, I was like, wow, it's quite special. It was looking back.
How do you go from doing that to the Dame at the Panto?
Yeah, that's a mad story. So,
because apparently, right, so from what I gather in your world is, it's a well-respected thing to be a Dame at a Panto.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Like,
I met Ian McKellen. He did Mother Goose in Borgosh with Charles O'Brien. He got me to meet him after he performed. He was doing it with, I think, John Bishop. I think was supposed to be on stage, but John Bishop, I think, there was a death in his family, and I got to meet Ian McKellen, and he was a pantomime Dame. And then I got a phone call, for a director. And I went for an audition. They were building this brand new £14 million pound concert hall in Balbriggan. I said, fuck off. And I said, no, they are. I was like, you're having a laugh. Yeah. I was like, so anyway, shout out to Michael Senior. He built this amazing concert hall down the road. I'm a swordsman, up the parish. And I auditioned thinking it was the comedy role. And he said, no, I want you to be the pantomime Dame. And I was like, okay, wow. Because met Ian McKellen there in the summer, Mother Goose. Joe Conlon does it in the Gaiety. Rob Murphy does it in National Stadium. Miles Breen does it in Limerick. It's a huge, history. And I agreed. And it was the most amazing experience. But also, I'd never worn lipstick or high heels. as you think I would, but I hadn't. I had to go buy a bra and pennies. I'm a 40D, by the way. Lipstick, glue, gluing eyelashes onto me. Shout out to my Mua makeup artist Jason. I learned all the terms and all the slang and the. My partner was just like, I know you're a wild, but I didn't think you'd be this wild. As I need to buy makeup remover.
Let's be honest. Louise was like, leave the makeup on.
Leave
it on.
You'd wake up glitter. You have glitter everywhere. Even
I can imagine.
Do you remember me and I meet you in the Cop Tavern after?
Yeah. And you were covered in the.
And the lads. So after a gig at the Bracken Court Hotel, I got to have a pint, and I'd be in my Nike Air Max and my tracksuit with full on fake eyelashes and glitter, and I'd be getting some strange looks of farmers like, lads, it's all right, not interested. But because after a while you don't care, but you look so out there.
I can imagine.
And it's an amazing feeling because you are the jester. You're in control. You can banter with the audience.
Well, that night tell us.
You took your daughter.
Yeah, we took Isabel up to see the show. And Isabel would have been... Last Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah, Isabel would have been 3, you know. And it was our first time going to anything like that, really, you know. So I was thinking to myself, we were sitting in the second row or the front row, wherever it was anyway. And I think to myself going, she's going to be terrified of this. Like, you know, it's going to be loud music. And she was kind of, look, she was a kid, she's a toddler. She was kind of like looking at everything around, you know. But then once the lights come down and the princess walked out, and because it was Cinderella, right? So once the princess, was it Cinderella? It was Cinderella.
It was. Beauty and the Beast. Then Cinderella. Was Cinderella.
Yeah. So once the prince comes out and the chariot come out, and she was like, watching that, and then the songs come on, and then you come out with the pantomime dame.
When I got to speak to you and Steph, your wife, and your daughter, and speak to them on stage, they're moments that you don't forget, because I can see she's like, he knows my parents. And she knows my name.
When you said we have Suda, and then you went, and Isabel pointed at Isabel, she went, what?
The magic,
like, you know.
I talked about it in my new show. Did I ever tell you? I have another drink. The magic of pantomime is seeing your daughter's expression. It's your first introduction. The first pantomime I saw was in the Gaiety with Joe Conlon, Twink, and would you believe Ronnie Drew.
No way.
Yeah, and Joe ended up becoming a friend of mine. I played Jack in Jack and the Beanstalk, and he was my pantomime.
So what was the pantomime that you went to see?
It was Robinson Crusoe, I think, at the time.
No way.
Yeah, and it was Ronnie Drew was in it. Think about it from the...
That's crazy.
But it shows you... Here's a reflection. If you want to think about money and arts and industry, Panto was very well paid, but it's the hardest gig because you're doing 2 shows a day. It's
for a month.
It's like intense.
Yeah. But sometimes they go into January, don't they? Like sometimes they go 2 months, don't they?
2 months. But if you thought Ronnie Drew had to do a pantomime, was he doing it for the love of it, or was he doing it because it was a gig?
The money.
And this is where, but I will say one thing: to be on stage and have hundreds of people laughing and joking. Now, and I picked on all the daddies in the audience. There was one fella, God love him, he was wearing United jersey in the front row. And this is when Liverpool were on the top. And
still on the top.
Yeah. No.
We're still on the top.
Can I say something? That was just to let the other lads out there have their banter.
Still on the top.
And I just ripped him out for the whole show. Just ripped him out of it. And he was in... I will never be visceral to an audience member, but I will joke if there's a bit of banter.
I do the exact same thing.
And that you can see off people who want it. Some people will... We had a few stage invasions and how you deal with that. But do you know what it is? There's a magic in it, and I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad I'm taking a break because I got to enjoy Christmas this time. To reflect, I've done pantos for years. I remember one time I did Jack and the Beanstalk up in Ungreon and Donegal, and there was a problem with the beanstalk, and it went... flew me out into the audience. Oh yeah,
you spoke about that.
Yeah. So there's all these moments. Then I went on tour with Che Healy, who wrote, Eurovision winner, and Michael Scott. Magic memories. I remember one time we were doing the Galway Town Hall, full Town Hall, and David O'Doherty was on the night before, and he just used our pantomime set, and he did 15 minutes on his keyboard talking about the little elf village.
He is hilarious.
So he did a whole... So we were in the Galway, how big the town hall is, and our panto set was on stage, and he was just doing... I remember one time we were in Monaghan, Rob Vickers, he's in the Olympi panto. This kid went to the evil characters as like, I know a man who'll take care of you.
And everyone was like...
This 5-year-old said it in such silence. We were like...
Yeah.
I'm not a mess with you, kid. This fella's connected, this 5-year-old. But no.
And for those of you who don't know, Gilna was also struck by lightning.
Yeah, good intro there. Yeah.
If you want to chat about.
Anyone who suffered an experience that has altered your existence or made you reflect about how fleeting life is and how it can be taken away from you in an instant. I was in the highs of highs. I was on a J1 visa. I was in South Boston.
So what year is this?
2004.
Okay.
I was a young fella. I'm still very young. And I was moving to LA after that. I was on the highs of highs, agents, work. And then on the building site in Boston, there was a ladder on the balcony. And it was L Street in Southie, if you know Boston, Southie. And it was the L Street diner was across the road. And I was on the third floor. Funny enough, looking back now, the door is painted blue when I went to revisit when I was touring there 2 years ago with Brendan. And I was on the third floor. And it was July 2nd. And it was this beautiful sun, breeze. There was kids next door playing in the pool, laughing. And it made me think about water fights and playing kick and ball on the green with jumpers for goalposts and kick the can and curbs and eye beatings, all these games we played as kids.
It's called Pats.
Well, you know, potato.
Posh fuck. It's called Pats, right?
Like
over the car for game and all.
Over the car, yeah.
yeah.
Look,
There's the name of your next play, by the way. We've just put that out there. There you go.
Each people have different names, but anyway, these are the games we played. And the ladder was moving and I went to grab the ladder, and that's when the lightning struck the ladder, hit my hand, came across my body, blew the sole off my left foot, sent me back into the room. I crashed down, and then my heart stopped. Just stopped.
Do you remember the pain from that, like before you hit the grounds? Do you remember?
No, I want to tell you something beautiful and tragic. Doing the show, a show where I talk about A Ball from the Blue in the Bronx, in Unveiled Book, really famous, built by the Irish in the 80s. And a man came to see me after the show. I didn't know what was happening. And he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I was like, because I talked to every single person after my show, he says, "Did you feel any pain?" And I said, "I didn't feel any pain. I only felt pain when I woke up."
Yeah.
Because my skin was burning. I said, "But when I got hit by lightning," I said, "I was gone. I felt no pain. I went to a different place." And he hugged me. And he said, "My daughter was struck by lightning at a music festival in a tent and she died."
Jesus.
So I had no idea what he was asking me. So so he got this relief of, I didn't know what he was asking me. And he was an amazing fiddle player, I believe, in that region. And I only felt pain when I woke up.
And what was it like? Was it a burning sensation?
The smell of your own burning flesh is a visceral memory that I can't shake from my subconscious.
Christ.
Like
It's
only small parts, but 300,000 volts of electricity pass through your body when you get struck by lightning.
And your left foot
just went completely the sole off it because I was wearing work boots. But other than that, I had a cross. Actually that had kind of, the gold around the cross had melted, but the chain had kind of, you'll see the mark there from that. The lads from the
Don't take your fucking top off. We don't want to see the mark. It's all right.
Gym bro.
Yeah. Gym bro now.
Protein shake. And the lads from the worksite came up, brought me back to my, I didn't go to the hospital straight. It was all panic stations. Went to the hospital, and then you start hearing things, feeling things. Then you can feel the energy slowly. You know when you're punching out your last ticket in this place we call life. My friend Stephen Russell came to the hospital. We talked. I was in the ICU ward. And then time is very important because as a young fella, I never told anyone I loved him. I didn't know what love was.
Of course, yeah.
But I wanted to tell him that you're my best friend, man. I can't thank you enough. Just don't call my parents until the time difference suits. Call my auntie and uncle in Canada or my godparents in Florida. And I looked at him and bang, my heart flatlined for the second time. So that was the experience of out-of-body experience, pain, looking at myself from somewhere down at the table. I was actually pronounced dead.
Right, so I was just going to say that, right? So you're pronounced dead. What's it like?
There's a few things, right? Because there's a lot of drugs involved on the aftermath, in ICU, drip lines, to deal with pain. You reach a place where there is silence. and you're sitting in silence and you're breathing, but you don't know whose body you're in. Like, it's just a void of...
See, I can't comprehend that because it's never happened to me.
So then one moment I'm back taking a breath for the first time in the hospital. My heart beats again. Okay. This has been a crazy 24 hours. Then all the girls in college and the people who came into the hospital, they monitor you for the first 24 hours. You know, you're patched up. My heart flatlined again. And then during, I think it was the third night, that my life changed was that I could feel that the energy was leaving my body. And I asked the nurse, a lovely woman from Cork, and she put her hands on my feet and they were frozen. And
frozen?
As in I could feel like I was leaving again. I just feel my body was just not surviving. And she was just like, I could hear the beeps going off, nurses and doctors. And she's like, if you're, she gave me that moment of like,
if you're ready to go, if you're ready.
You're ready to go. And then you're here again.
That's wild.
And then you're saying, okay. And you just sit in silence.
And if that, I remember you saying to me, I remember we went for a pint in the Cock once, and I remember you saying to me, when you were struck by the lightning, right?
Yeah.
I remember you saying it triggered something in your brain or something. You said something to me about being artistic and being...
I never wrote a day in my life. I was always an actor. I acted in the school shows, acted as a class clown, went to the performing arts school in Barrow Street in the factory, ran by my friends Jill Doyle and Eamon. I loved the arts, but I never wrote a day in my life until a specialist said to me during rehab and stuff like that, write down your emotions, write down your feelings, and I haven't stopped writing ever since. So if you look back, my story and my chapter should have stopped then, and I should have no more stories, but I do. So I had a pure focus of where I was going and what I wanted to achieve, but the world and the energy around me had something completely different. And then you have to start again, like everybody.
And I don't, right, so I wouldn't say I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
I don't believe in any kind of, very much, if it's there, I'll see it.
Exactly.
Right?
I think you can't, that's the only way I think you can. Everybody believes in a God. Everybody believes in their God. I believe in a God. I believe in spirits. I believe in angels. I don't. But that's okay.
No. But I mean, if that happened to me and it sent me into a place that set me for the rest of my life, I couldn't help but think like that.
Well, see, my
Do you know what I mean?
mother is very religious. She'd go to all the prayer groups with the girls. She prays for people. Yeah. She lights candles. So what I took from that was, if you're ill or unwell, or, I've got friends of mine who are getting chemo at the moment, right? I will send them text messages. I will pray for them. I light candles for them. I'm sending them well wishes. I'm sending them love. Because no matter what religion or what your religious beliefs are, or whether you're atheist, if I believe in energy, so I believe in the world of energy, and if we focus that energy into trying to send positive wellness to somebody who is battling a tumour or brain tumour or suffering from depression or hasn't got a spark back into life, I believe in that power and that energy to change someone's shift and hopefully give them love and support. And that can be whatever religion or God. My auntie is a very well-known healer. I've got cousins who are psychologists. So I was brought up into these both worlds, and I've taken from both. So I love lighting candles. I love praying for people.
Yeah, you light a candle every Friday.
I light a candle for every Friday. I like if someone texts me and says, we're trying to get pregnant, or I've got this injury, I'm about this job. It's about me sending a message of love out to the world.
Yeah, I remember when we spoke about it with Kira on the last one, when my daughter the dog attacked my daughter and her face was left destroyed. But I remember you saying to me, I'll light a candle for...
And I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it because it's just like...
No, I know. And I remember that sticking with me, being like, Jesus, that's a nice way of expressing...
That to me is saying, I've got a candle lighting for your daughter and for your family, and to get her back to where she will be back, smiling and being that amazing child that she gives life to the world to be around. That's what I do. I love it. I got it from different people in my life. Someone tweeting one time, go on, light under epoxy candle. So I can take piss out of myself. I can take the mick. I know, love me or hate me, I don't care. But
it's like that video. Did you ever see the one that Gavin James does when he's on the boat going down the Liffey? Did you see it?
No.
He's a great video, right? Where he's going down the boat in the Liffey and he's obviously recording some content type thing. He's strumming a song.
Ed Sheeran thing.
Some song. He's playing some song of his anyway, and someone just shouts, "That song is shite!" from the side of the kids.
No, it's like
great.
It's like you go into the pub and there's tourists in the pubs you gig in or perform. And we're like, something like, that kid was struck by lightning, and you're like, oh, here we go again, Gilna. And I'm like, oh, buy me a pint. So that's where you have to people are fascinated about the afterlife, and it was just, you could have a car accident, you could survive cancer, you could survive about depression, or stint in John of God's or St. Pat's or whatever it is. It's about a bump in the road, and how do we process this? How do you move forward? And to me, the lightning will always be a part of me. I embrace it. I can talk about it. I don't stop talking about it. I've made shows about it, but it's about.
But why would you stop? You know what I mean? It made you what you have done for the last 20 years and will continue to do for the next.
Talking absolute bollocks.
Absolute.
But no, it
trash.
is. It's about stripping it back to a story, a connection, making people laugh, making people cry, and maybe I just, what did I learn from today when you asked me about being struck by lightning? And see, you have to tell it authentically every time. And I just was brought back to a place where I sat in silence, wherever that was. But I always say to you, in my plays, I want people to sit in silence. But maybe I might think it to myself, was that just a pitch? Or am I head going, oh, actually, I sat in silence, didn't know what was happening.
I know what you mean.
That just literally sparked in my head there.
Yeah. Sparked is a good choice of word as well.
Didn't even know.
It just struck me.
Didn't even know. I wish I was that good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It just struck me. It just, just fucking,
Jesus.
Stroke of lightning.
Jesus wept.
But, and you've brought a book in with us today that you've written as well.
Yeah, actually, this is, so talking about the highs and lows of lows, I always post stuff online, and I'm born on the 24th, 24 poems, and it was 2024. We had it upstairs in the Cock Tavern. Shout out to the lads in the Cock. We had an amazing book launch, and I'll write to read this poem. Like this is important. I've lost friends to suicide, both men and women in my village. We've all been affected by it. I talk about it in this show. So certain things I will talk about in the show that I won't talk about online. You know what I mean? Like it's just that intimate stuff. But this was for really anybody who has lost someone to suicide, who is battling depression, and no matter how bad you think it is, I don't want you to be this person. And it inspired by someone who I lost and having a conversation with them before they died. And it's called 23, The Boys from the Jacko, and I'll read it here today. A secret base we used to hide from the world outside when we were just two boys from the Jacko. Swinging from homemade swings and climbing trees, itchy back fights and Mr. Freeze. Lost in imagination and free to be wild. A pact was made, blood brothers for life, down by the valley. But a darkness took a hold of you that I didn't see. This dapper man I knew, so full of warmth and banter, was swinging alone between the trees. I miss my blood brother, 2 pints at the bar and the banter. I cry at night so nobody can see my pain. I scream by the tracks to drown out my anger. But this is not a selfish act of a man of sane mind, but a brother so lost that this was your only answer. The smell of a joint reminds me of you, that cheeky glint, a ladies' man once so full of life. But you are free, my brother, free from pain, free from darkness. But why? When I close my eyes, I hear a laughter in our trees. Forever in my mind, 2 best friends, the boys from the Jacko.
Lovely. I mean, yeah.
So like,
now I've heard that poem millions of times, right? And still, when you read it, it hits, like,
It's because anyone who's suffering out there, listen, I don't want you to be that person on poem 23. It's like, you may not see a light or a spark, but people do care. And there are people, maybe they're not my people in your circle right now. We might have not family to lean on, but there's places you can call. There's things you can do. And don't feel that you're alone.
Yeah.
Because the light will come back. Like me being in the sunrise this morning. watching the world move on and seeing light coming back into someone's life. And I thought, wow, I'm alive. I'm here. And this is a great one. My friend Noel won't mind me saying this. Noel O'Grady, amazing singer, performer. And he was closing out the show in the Lark, Dublin in 1962. And I was stressed about the show and I was a tough person to be around. And he said, David, tell me two things. He says, David, at least you're not getting chemo on Sunday. And I went, well, that's all I need to know. And then the second thing was, we were having a bit of a party back in his house in town. And he said, David, a man who can't have a Chinese after midnight is no friend of mine. And I thought that was one of the greatest Noel O'Grady.
I mean, let's be honest, it's the best time to have the Chinese is on the way home.
He just lives off Christchurch, went down Thomas Street, got the Chinese for all. But it was something beautiful Noel had said to me in that moment. He's an amazing singer, he's an amazing connector, and he was good friends with Brendan Kennelly, and he's booked the Mansion House next year for a huge event. And he's like, what have I done? But he just said to me in this beautiful way, it was just like, at least you're not getting chemo on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I just went, you know what?
Yeah, nothing more real than that.
Nothing more real than that. And I've got two really close friends of mine who are battling their own, mentors of mine, people who mean so much to me. And I'll turn up for them every day. I'll light my candles, like I said to you about your daughter, because they are now suffering, but suffering in their own way. Some people will talk about it, some people won't. What I do is I write about it.
But everyone has their own way of dealing with it, you know. Jesus, yeah, man, that's it's as real as you're gonna get, isn't it?
I think that's what.
But it shows in the play, right? It shows in the art. It shows. I've been mates with you now for nearly 3 years, I think now, right?
And we connected straight away because of, I think, as artists and as friends, and we're both Liverpool supporters. Yeah. No, but there's a realness there. When you're real on stage, you're real in life.
Big time. Yeah. It's not bullshit when you meet us.
No, I am not the smartest man in the world.
Do you reckon?
And after a few whiskies, I can say a few things.
I can tell you now.
And I can be very loud when you're on stage.
Can you what?
What do I say? What Aslan song?
I can't remember.
Chains.
Yeah.
You can hear me. Do you remember one time Paddy said to me, I was so loud because I just came off stage at Panto, and I was like, I was louder than the band in the front of the place.
Insane.
But yeah, that's whiskey talk.
Look, Gilna, cheers for coming on, man. Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. That has been the Total Entertainment. This podcast here, Total Entertainment Podcast. I have a new song. It's the first single from my second album. It's called Don't Let Love Get in the Way. It comes out on Friday. I don't know when this is going out, but it's coming out November 7th. Go listen to it, pre-save it. We got a gig in the Academy February 27th. Tickets are on sale now on Ticketmaster. Go check it out. Gilna, pleasure. See you next week.